It's so pretty! Hello everybody, my name is Andrew Hester and welcome back to Space Engineers. Okay, and in breaking with tradition, I'm actually reviewing some ships from the Steam Workshop. Technically this is supposed to be a ground base that's supposed to be on a planet such as Yonderway, but, well, kind of hard to show you the rest of the ships while on a planet's surface when most of them are designed for space. Anyway, so we have this, yeah, as I said, this is supposed to be on the planet's surface, hence the lack of gravity. Ooh. Anywho, so as we have here, this is essentially the main commons room. With glass ceilings for great views outside and lots of glass. Right. And I think this is supposed to be a panic room, or... Well, there's a turret that shot me when I was reviewing this with Adaline, which, by the way, will be down below in the video description. Anywho, so what really drew me to these ships was the lighting. She does an amazing job with interior lights, and we'll get to the ships in a few minutes, or one, depending on how long it takes to whee. Anywho, so all these are survival ready. However, the ships with hydrogen thrusters don't have hydrogen tanks, but more on that in a moment. And she did mention this memorial, however, she did not mention as to what happened. I'll leave it to her if she wants to explain it in the comments section, but there is a memorial on this station. Anywho, so we just made our way to the nice, lovely medical room, which, yeah, high voltage ceilings with an antenna and beacon. So this would also double as the main communications room. Your standard landing pad, however, not made of heavy armor. So this is where we were, and this is another smaller landing platform, and this is really the memorial. Again, you can really see her use of lighting. This is the main power generator room, or tower I should say, with your standard batteries for backup power, and there was two last time I was... Okay. 3, apparently. I didn't go up enough. And so, there you have it. Yes, it's minimalistic, but at the same time, for a quick minor base of operations, I mean, you have your beds over here, maybe rooms, erecting quick little cubicles for rooms, I don't know. But, again, to me, it was all about the lighting and the use of giant spikes, but more on that in a moment. Now, I'm not sure if the recording picked it up. I did notice my preview window started to lag a bit, so I'm just gonna remove that. But next we have the Mantis, which to me almost looked like the Supremacy when I first saw it, but you see the mandibles right here. Now, this is really more of a dedicated, what's the term, civilian ship, in which you have all these thrusters and the jump drives really meant to get passengers around. Although, again, the lighting she does, and I don't know what's going on, but Space Engineers is really... Yeah. Apologies, Why do I keep forgetting? Adaline. Oy, we're off to a great start. Anywho, so yes, the Mantis, if you fly here between the two jump drives and orient yourself properly, we're in, and her friends called this the Vagina Bridge, and if you get it, yeah. Anywho, so get seriously. Acceleration wise, it's fairly decent, but again, it's not really meant for sustained acceleration. Once you get up to speed, you basically just disable the inertia dampeners and just free float. And we're just going to park the ship next to the Stellar over here. And dookie. Anywho, so we got some nice, lovely windows that let you look down below the ship. However, if we fly right here, you can see this nice, lovely cabin. So you can basically have two couples, two paying couples, with this nice, lovely view of the... Seriously, I do like actually seeing the workings of the ship exposed, but not overly exposed like this, even to the passengers, because I do like seeing the hydrogen thrusters right there, although maybe hide the reactors, but I don't know. And more passenger seats. Anyway, seriously though, it's the lighting that I really fell in love with when I saw these. And a little backstory. We were talking on a Discord server where I mentioned my Death Star, which linked down below in the description for that playlist, of me building it in survival, and then she showed me her workshop, and, well, I had to show these off because holy crap. I mean, it's all the spikes and ridges that... I love it. And I'm pretty sure she's a big Stargate fan, and I think that's where she got inspiration. I never really watched Stargate. Oh, now she's gonna kill me. But yeah. Okay, flying into the Stella, we have even more passenger seats, although there is no cabin space. I suspect the idea being you'd put some of the passengers in these cryopods. Also, all these are survival ready. However, as I said, there are no hydrogen tanks. So be sure to take that into consideration if you intend to play with them. But again, the lighting. I personally, even though I play only in survival and I build my stuff in survival, I don't have the patience to fiddle with lighting like this. I mean, it's just amazing. But as you can see, acceleration-wise, this is lacking. But again, this is predominantly a civilian ship. You're not gonna be engaging in tight maneuvers. Although a majority of this space is, well, dedicated to thrusters. Although do I have thruster damage off? I don't know, but that's a few things here and there, but ultimately I still like it. Anywho, flying over to the more militaristic ships, we have the Grandmaster ship from Thor Ragnarok. Yes, she's actually made this, and it is awesome and highly detailed. Where is the cockpit? Poor choice of words. Fairly maneuverable and decent at acceleration, however, no weapons. So, take that into consideration. Now, this is probably my favorite fighter design that she has. This is the jumper, as we both came up with just the other night when she showed me it. And that's because, even though it's a small ship with beautiful lighting, even though I'm not a big fan of purple, granted it is in my top 10 colors, it has a jump drive connected to a router, which is connected to a merge block, which is connected to the fighter itself. And here's the cool part. The jump drive detaches similar to what you see in Star Wars with the Jedi Interceptors, where they dock to hyperspace rings. At least that's the concept she told me when she started to make this. Maneuverability wise, even with the jump drive attached, it's fairly decent, although what you're gonna want to do is disconnect, and then as you can see, it is much better at actual maneuvering. Although she does have these set to on. One probably critique, and that's very minor. I would just put the missiles right here, select them, and then hold down the traditional fire button, but that's just me. Basically, with this design, what you would have would be you jump into the system that you're targeting, drop off your jump wing, as I think I'd call it, just because it's, well, not a hyperspace ring, but seriously. Come on. I would probably help if I had that on. Thank you. But overall, again, the lighting, I don't have the patience to get this right. And purple on this kind of blue, the cyan. Beautiful. Anyway, moving on, we have this nice, lovely beacon station. Again, apologies, Adaline. I don't know why, but Space Engineers is being finicky with the lighting. We have this nice, lovely beacon station that's really only meant, as you can see, because of the atmospheric thrusters, this is meant to be on a planet with an atmosphere, which basically guides the way, saying, hey, the base is over here. And this is another one of her lovely fighters, although this really isn't really a fighter. If I had to guess, this is more of just a really big civilian ship. Which one's this one again? No, not the jumper. No, not the arrow. This is the lander. Yeah, when she and I derped around for a little bit, when she was showing me these, and I didn't get that great of an in-depth look. She just showed them off and then moved on to the next one, but we'll get to these two. These two are the best of the capital ship designs. The jumper's the best military ship, if in my opinion. Your mileage may vary, but yeah, I mean, this is a lander, but I'm not seeing like passenger seats for troops. But again, you see the nice ribs, I should say, which with the lighting, it really works. Now, for these, oh boy, this one's the glass cannon. This one, memory failing, the point break, and oh, well, let's show the glass cannon. As you can see, we have a nice, lovely rib system. Again, I love the ribs and spikes that are on her ships, but as you can see here, this is essentially a mag cannon, except instead of magnets to propel this projectile, you have gravity, because this has a mass artificial mass block. We'll get to that in a minute. One criticism I would have with the weapon itself, I would probably put the artificial mass block here, just because the center of mass, but that's minor, as you'll soon see as I fly off into the space. Anywho, now to get to the cockpit, you have to work your way through all of this, but fairly straightforward once you get in. Now, she actually tried to kill me on this, but we were in creative mode. I was in the middle, Okay, really? I can't access the mouse? Okay. Basically, I was right here where the mouse was, examining it, and, well, she may or may not have fired. And there you go. Again, I would probably tweak the warhead ever so slightly, but it's minor, and as you saw, it did in fact hit. Now let's investigate the damage. So we have minor damage, although I really wasn't aiming that well. Okay, so it looks like the warhead did not detonate. Let's fire it again. This time I'm just going to cut my way into the glass. Or, okay. Let's aim for the aft section. Start the welding procedure. Now, this ship isn't meant for... no, it's the next one. Fire, and... spin me right round, baby, right. Kaboom. Yeah, that time it looked like we did some damage. Well, of course we did damage. It looks like the warhead detonated. Or not. Okay, everything but the warhead hit the... yeah, like I said, one slight critique I would have would be move the artificial mass block for the center of mass. Now, this is quite possibly my favorite design of the capital ship line. Although, as I said, this is not really meant for survival, just because the welders, which will become important in a minute, they don't have access to the conveyor system. And I suspect in order to make that not the case, this ship would have to be bigger than its current estate. However, we're going to take aim at the Stellar. Now this is what really surprised me. It actually launches the front of the ship, and it re-welds itself back up. And as you can see, the damage can be quite extensive. I mean, just think if this had... I suspect the reason there weren't warheads on that, or... was that from the first max shot that I did? I don't know. I'll investigate in a minute. So, yeah, as you can see, there's no really... the Stellar is done. We practically sheared the ship in half. Oh. But yeah, as a really blunt instrument, I like it. Now, if I had to probably critique this, I would probably have used heavy blocks just for extra damage, although it didn't look like we really needed a whole lot. Now I need to investigate as I spaz out. Okay, there are no warheads, so that was all kinetic energy. Damn. Now, where's the... there it is. Let's fire at the Mantis. Line up the shot. Let's aim for the middle. I mean, this is cool. And welded back up. So you can... okay, I was worried I missed. Whoa. Yeah. Very effective, nonetheless. Anywho, so this has been Adaline's stuff. Once again, the link to her Steam Workshop will be down below in the video description, and I will probably end up doing another one of a review of her ships. In terms of military aspect, yeah, these two are, well, that one's even called the, no, this one is even called the glass cannon for a reason. I mean, we saw what light armor is not capable of doing, but I feel as though if we added weapons to these, like Gatling turrets for personal defense, it runs the risk of taking away from the design, but that's probably just me. So, but yes, as I was saying, I definitely will be keeping an eye on her workshop, and if you do like her designs, I do recommend following her. I mean, I know I just did when when she showed me her workshop, and I said, I want to put these on YouTube. And speaking of this series, I will be reviewing something else, not from Adaline, but from someone else who's building a, well, I'll save it for that particular video, but it's the main reason why I got into ships in general. But again, more on that when he's finished with his construction. Again though, I love Adaline's use of ridges and especially the lighting, although red is my second favorite color next to black. And I kind of, okay, now I'm curious, how would, nah, if she comes out with something like that, then I'll let her make changes. But again, holy crap. Anywho, so that's gonna do it for me. Thank you all so much for watching. Once again, down below in the description will be a link to Adaline's workshop where you can get these lovely creations for yourself. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Is there something wrong with me?
Reinforcements on.
Actually, don't answer that. I'll just say
ready for action. Upgrade in progress.
You've let unidentified to investigate.
No! My finger slipped!
Reinforcements on.
No! What the fuck? This is my own planet!